Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of The Doctor Will See You Now. I am the Dr. Devin, and The Doctor Will See You Now is going to be a weekly show about games. What I plan to do in the future is kind of talk about a game that I've played recently, delve deep into it, talk about the things I liked, I didn't like, and just kind of just give out an opinion in the end. This first episode is going to be a little bit different since I have been sick recently and haven't been able to get up the kind of video that I wanted to create. What I said I was going to do is create a video just talking about Paris Games Week. I got about page and a half of notes here, so I was gonna try to jump right into this, try not to make this too long, and talk my thoughts about Paris Games Week. Alright, so Paris Games Week started out with the first trailer for Call of Duty Giant Zombies map. I've always liked Call of Duty Zombies from the very beginning. The thing that's really confusing me now is them trying to put this story into Zombies mode. In the past, it always seemed like, oh, there's like this little bit of story there, but it wasn't important and you didn't really need it to play. It's really just the gameplay. And the thing that confuses me now is if they're really trying to put story into this, it's going to be the same exact thing every single time you play. So I'm really hoping that it just kind of continues the good gameplay and, not trying to shoehorn in some kind of story into this. But, I mean, nevertheless, the trailer looked really good. Who knows if I'm really going to be playing this? I think what they're saying is this certain map comes along with buying the season pass, so I'm not planning on buying the season pass, but I hope there's some other way that I could try out this map, since, I've always been a big fan of zombies, and I'd like to play this. Alright, so next, they showed a great trailer for Star Wars Battlefront. I have been a very big Battlefront fan from around the beginning, I guess. I would play so much of Star Wars Battlefront on my PSP that I have no idea how many hours I put into that, but it was a lot. The only thing that makes me sad about Star Wars Battlefront is my favorite thing about the PSP is I would literally just jump into a game and play it against all those bots. And I was really hoping that I could play it the exact same way when it comes to PlayStation 4. It doesn't seem like that's going to be in the game. I, really hope that it's going to be. But nevertheless, this is the kind of game that even though I'm not a multiplayer gamer, I'm going to jump into this, play a lot of it, and I think it's going to be awesome. The trailer they showed was great. I mean, every single trailer they show for this game just makes it look better and better. I love the Boba Fett joke where he, jumps over the Sarlacc pit and says something that won't happen again about falling into it. It's so much just brings it back into that Star Wars universe that I think this game is just gonna be awesome. Alright, the next thing that was shown was Street Fighter V. I am in no part a fan of fighting games. I will jump into them every once in a while. I really liked playing Mortal Kombat on the Vita. Injustice Gods Among Us was really fun. Never tried the new Mortal Kombat, and I don't plan on playing Street Fighter V. But for the people that like it, I think it looks awesome, and I hope it's good. They announced a new character named Doll Sim, which I know nothing about this guy. Honestly, he looks like Mr. Fantastic meets Gandhi, which sounds pretty awesome, but, well, I guess we'll have to see. They also talked about 6 additional characters are going to be coming to the game after launch. That's awesome that they have that set, and they have, like, these silhouettes so you can guess who they're going to be. I think it's always nice when a game like this really talks about what they plan for the DLC plan. I mean, the one thing not to draw comparisons between Street Fighter and Smash Brothers, but it was kind of annoying where it's like, yeah, we're gonna have Smash Brothers DLC, we're gonna see some characters coming out, but it's like, now you kind of don't really hear anything, and you don't know, maybe there'll be more, maybe there won't. Like, it's nice to know you're gonna get 6 additional characters after launch, and, that's what you're gonna get. You might get more after that, but they at least have that set. The other cool thing is, you can play the game and you unlocked fight money, which can be used to actually, like, buy these characters with the way that made it seem, which is, I think a really awesome way to add DLC with, you don't have to pay for it with cash. If you're a devout player and you're playing it all the time, you are unlocking things that you can use to buy more content in the game, which, I mean, I think is really cool. Next, we saw Tekken 7. I mean, there really isn't, like I said before, I'm not into fighting games. There really isn't much I can say about Tekken 7. I mean, from what I've heard about Tekken games, they look pretty awesome, but I honestly have no opinion on what Tekken 7 is going to be, and really anything like that. I mean, the one thing that they really did talk about, and this wasn't at this part, this was kind of brought up more towards the end, is that Tekken 7 is going to have VR support. I'm not quite sure what that means. I mean, I can't imagine what VR support for a fighting game exactly is going to be. I don't know if you're just gonna put on the helmet and then just play the game that way, and you're just seeing it like you'd be seeing it on TV. But I mean, that's still, if they're trying to find out something cool that they can do with Tekken 7 through VR, that's really cool. If it's just gonna be something that's shoehorned in, then whatever, I could care less about it. But if they're trying to create something that is made for Tekken 7 in VR, then all right, go for it. Give me your best shot. Next, we get a Battleborn trailer. From the very beginning, I think Battleborn looks really awesome. It just seems like this very much character-based first-person shooter where you are, picking certain classes of just these very just neat art style looking characters that all seem very different. And the other cool thing they announced, I mean, PlayStation is the first to get the beta, so if you want to try this thing out, then there's your shot. You gotta try this thing out before it comes out. Next, we see Boundless, which the first trailer, I think that game looks awesome. I mean, it looks like Minecraft, but with like No Man's Sky ideas inside of it. Like these different portals you're jumping into that take you to either different worlds or different parts in the world. I mean, I think it looks really cool. From what I've heard from some other sources, that it's going to be this always online game where you're in this one world with all these other different people. Like I mentioned before, I'm not a multiplayer gamer, so we're gonna have to see how this turns out. I would honestly love to just jump in this game and play it by myself. I think it looks really cool. So, I mean, we're gonna have to wait some more to hear some more about Boundless and see what it's gonna become. Next, we see a game called Vector, which is a game that seems like it's a music rhythm-based game with Avicii doing all the music. I really like music games when they're done right, and I think, if Avicii is making a bunch of, brand new music and this developer is creating a neat game around that, I think, go for it. That sounds awesome. I hope it's good. Next, we see some more No Man's Sky. From everything we've seen from No Man's Sky, it seems like we keep seeing the same thing over and over again, and I'm still a little bit confused as to exactly what No Man's Sky is gonna be. Like, it makes sense. Most of the most of what they've shown, like, it makes sense. You're flying around these different planets, you're collecting resources, you're trying to make it center of the universe. But what is like the gameplay hook that's gonna hook me? And you're seeing some more combat in this trailer. I think it looks really good. I mean, I'm so excited to play this game. They don't exactly have to tell me what this hook's gonna be. I just want to start the game up and get hooked into it. I just hope there's something there that's gonna drag me in and keep me playing for a long time. They announced a release date for June 2016. This kind of confused me because I remember when they were on the Colbert Report, not the Colbert Report, Colbert's new show. The guys from No Man's Sky were on it doing a little demo for No Man's Sky, and I was surprised that they didn't announce a release date then. I think that would have been, it's not exactly the place to announce a release date for the gamers, but to show an amazing game in front of tons of people that might have never seen it before, give a release date, that would have been, I think, a good idea. So after they didn't do that, I was pretty set on the idea that they were gonna show No Man's Sky at PSX, and that they're gonna give a release date then, and it's gonna come day and date with PSVR. They didn't say any of that during Paris Games Week, and I was surprised that we even gotten a release date then. I thought they were going to hold that off till PSX. I still think that this is going to be a PlayStation VR game. I think that all this time there is a team at Sony. I mean, Hello Games cannot be porting this game over to PSVR. There's not enough people at that place. They're working on finishing this game. I think there's a team at Sony that has been working on porting this to PSVR, and I really hope that we're going to hear about that at PSX. Alright, let's keep on moving. Matterfall was the game that was shown next. I mean, honestly, it's Housemarque. What else needs to be said? The trailer really doesn't show you anything about what this game is going to be. My guess is it's still going to be like an arcade game like they've been doing so far. It was just a very neat, kind of like high budget trailer, just teasing the idea of what this game's going to be. But like Resogun, I love Resogun, I love Dead Nation. I haven't really played too much of what else they've created, but from what I've heard, Alien Nation sounds great. I have no worry in my mind that this game is not going to be another incredible game. Alright, next we see Ratchet and Clank. Another game that I'm just like a little bit confused about. Like, I feel like we keep seeing similar trailers to this game at same like conventions over and over again. I'm kind of confused as to why this game isn't out yet. Every single time I see it, it looks awesome. I have never really played a Ratchet and Clank game. I played Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus for maybe a couple hours, but didn't get too deep into it. But I'm really excited for this game. I think it looks really good. The gameplay looks awesome from the trailers, and honestly, I just want this game. I want them to stop, showing it at every single convention. Like, just, bunker down and work on this game for a little bit longer and, give it to me, because I do really want to play this. Next, we see another demo from Horizon Zero Dawn. The second time seeing this game, it just looks incredible. From what I've heard, the demo that they showed at Paris Games Week was the same demo that was shown to the press during E3. So for a lot of those people, it was seeing the same thing again, but for every other person, it was a brand new demo. And honestly, it just keeps looking more and more incredible. It looks like a very deep game. I think this is going to be an awesome world to get lost in and just play. The art is incredible. These giant robotic dinosaurs. I feel like I could just sit there and just... he showed that mode where he, stopped and he just moved around. I hope that's in the game, so I can honestly just stop and do 360 views around these giant dinosaurs. They just look so detailed, and I just want to look at them for a long time. Alright, next we get a really, really fucking cool trailer of Bloodborne: The Old Hunters. I am so excited for this DLC. I love Bloodborne, I love Dark Souls, I cannot wait to get more of these games. Bloodborne was just so incredibly awesome. The new weapons look really cool. They show this, saw staff, where it's like a circular saw, but... oh, excuse me, still a little bit sick. They show, you have this staff, and then you hit the transform weapon button, and you put, a circular saw that's spinning on the end of your staff. It looks awesome. They have this new, flamethrower weapon, which would take the spot of your gun, which really reminds me of kind of like the way I would play Witcher 3. Recently played it on Death March mode, and you would really move around a lot, and then use Quen for your shield, and then use Igni a lot for fire. And this really reminded me of the way I was playing Witcher 3, where, I would wait and get guys down in this little line, and then I would use Igni to set them all on fire. I have a feeling I'm going to be playing Bloodborne the same way, using that flamethrower. I'm going to get them all down in a line, use that flamethrower, light them all on fire, and then slice them all in half. The bosses they're showing look really cool. I didn't even need a trailer for this in the first place. You could have just told me we're getting Bloodborne DLC, and I would pre-order it the second I heard that. Also, it's coming out the 24th of November. That's really soon. Believe me, there is going to be an episode talking about Bloodborne: The Old Hunters. I cannot wait for this. Next we have Drive Club Bikes. There's really not much I can say about this. They released this right after the show. I remember Drive Club intrigued me when I first heard about it. It's probably a game I would have picked up. I would have picked up if it would have came out at the very beginning of this console cycle. With just the way that it took forever, it came out, it still didn't work. They put it with PS Plus for like 2 months. By that point, I just couldn't care less. It just didn't intrigue me. I'm not a big fan of racing games, but I feel like I would have tried this game out, but just the amount of time that we waited, and I don't know. Bikes, alright, looks cool. I'm sure if you're a fan of Drive Club, you'd like this, but being someone that doesn't really care, you're not gonna find me on PSN playing this. Alright, next we see Gravity Rush 2. I am so happy they're coming out with a second game in this series. I thought the first game was awesome on Vita. The only problem I had is it was really small to play it on Vita. Like, it felt like a really giant world, and playing the HD re-release, HD remaster of the original Gravity Rush is going to be awesome on PS4, because I think that's such a perfect game to be playing on the big screen, and I really think Gravity Rush 2 looks really cool. They have this new combat system with 3 different types of gravity. The tag team battle with AI, when I first saw that, I thought it was going to be like a co-op, you're playing with your friend, but watching through the press conference the second time, I noticed they said that it was going to be a tag team battle like with AI. So that kind of makes it seem interesting. You don't have to play it online. You can play it, just with AI, having a buddy there to help you with your gravity battles. But honestly, Gravity Rush 2 looks very similar to the first game. I hope there's some, different environments, something to kind of mix it up, especially if you're playing the original Gravity Rush on PS4 and then soon after you're playing Gravity Rush 2. I think there really needs to be something new there other than just the different gravity styles to pull in, players that didn't originally play the Vita game. Alright, so next we see Uncharted 4 multiplayer. Again, like I said, I'm not a big multiplayer fan. One of the games I really got deep into the multiplayer was Last of Us. And I really think this is going to scratch that itch I've been missing. I really like multiplayer games that seem like they're doing something different, and Uncharted 4 multiplayer seems like they're really switching up what they've done before, adding these like supernatural elements into the fight. Honestly, I'm almost more excited for their multiplayer after that trailer than I am for the core game. Like, I think it looks really cool. The only thing that I'm worried about is I was recently watching the newest P.S. I Love You episode from Kinda Funny, and they talked about there's going to be microtransactions from day one in Uncharted 4. This makes me worried because with the way microtransactions worked, at least in the Last of Us re-release, it's really hard to play that multiplayer now because people are just, you can go on there, you can buy the best gun, and you can beat everyone else, and it makes it not fun to play Last of Us multiplayer anymore. Like, I'd love to jump back into that, but it's just, it's not what it used to be. So I really hope that they've learned their lesson from creating Last of Us multiplayer, and I hope that those items are just, only cosmetic. There's nothing that's going to give you a better gun. I'm perfectly fine paying for a fishnet shirt for Sully, but I'm not happy if there's going to be a rocket launcher for $1. But they said the beta is going to be from December 4th to 13th, and believe me, I am going to be playing that. Next thing we saw was Dreams by Media Molecule. I'm a really big fan of Media Molecule. Like, I enjoy the Little Big Planet games, but it was Tearaway that I completely fell in love with. I played that game nonstop on my Vita. I platinumed it. There are people out there that, it had a mixed reception when Tearaway came out. I feel like a lot of people didn't fully get it or didn't fully enjoy it. I absolutely loved it, but I'm not sure about Dreams. I'm still like I watch. I watched that, the video, the demo they've shown twice, and I'm still not sure, like, what I'm gonna be doing in that game. Like, they said that what they showed was a simple dream, and I'm just kind of curious what's a more complex dream. Like they showed a little reel at the end with little clips of gameplay and a guy snowboard, and it's just I hope there's a lot more there, and you don't just open it up and you have to create everything. I hope that there are Media Molecule created dreams, like a ton of them, and I can actually just play the game and not have to sit there for hours creating a dream and then playing my own dream. But I'm sure that it's Media Molecule. They have tons of fans. People love creating stuff in Little Big Planet. I'm sure if I pick this game up maybe a couple months after release, there's going to be some awesome dreams to try out. They said there's a beta in 2016. I think that's something I really definitely want to get into. I really want to see what this game is about. I want to figure it out. I want to play it and see if it's a game for me or not, because I really believe in these guys. I don't think they're going to create something that's bad. They're really creative, awesome people, and I have high hopes for this. It's just, I'm still not sure what I'm going to be doing when I put in that disc. Alright, next, coming up, Yoshida-san graces us with his presence on stage. I love Shuhei Yoshida, and he is one of the biggest advocates for PSVR. Like, I think this man honestly, like, really believes in PSVR, and you can tell that when he talks about it. Like, he talks about it all the time on interviews, and I think this guy really believes in it. He says that 200 developers are working on PSVR, which makes me really excited. That's one thing I'm worried about PSVR, is that it's going to come out, and it's not going to move many units. They're going to come out with a couple cool games. People are not going to buy it, and then it's going to just fail. I think you really got to continue creating awesome, awesome experiences in PlayStation VR to keep more people buying it. Alright, so the first thing they showed was rigs. Again, I'm saying I'm not a multiplayer gamer, and I feel like every single game on here that's multiplayer, I'm really thinking it looks cool. It's another game that looks awesome. They're marketing it as this VR esport. I think it just looks really fun, it looks really different, and I'm excited to get my hands on this game. Just running around as a mech, and it seems like a faster moving Titanfall where everyone's in a mech, and I don't know, it looks really cool. Alright, next we get to Until Dawn Rush of Blood. Why Until Dawn? I just don't understand why they picked Until Dawn to create this game. You could have just named Rush of Blood and made a cool on-rail shooter, but I don't know. So, Until Dawn Rush of Blood is supposed to be this, on-rail shooter. You're on this roller coaster going through spooky haunted house. I feel bad saying it looks uninteresting, but I haven't seen anything. This is the first showing of it, but I didn't really see anything that made me seem like, whoa, I want to try this out. It just seems like just why is the Until Dawn name attached to this? Put something there that makes me want to play this game. Alright, next we see Robinson the Journey. Another game that looks really cool. It's it's a giant forest of dinosaurs, and you got a robot ghost Dinklebot following you around. But, again, I'm not really sure what this is going to be. The robot says you want to play a game, and you're, kind of trying not to get stomped on, and then you see a T-Rex, and then the demo ends. This could be awesome. Just keep creating awesome VR games. I believe in Crytek. It's kind of surprising to see them again after all the problems you heard about with things like Homefront: The Revolution, but I hope they're creating an awesome game. Next we see Battlezone. It just looks like an arena tank game. It's a very beautiful game. I can't tell if it's a multiplayer competitive game or you're just dropped into an arena and you're fighting off waves of enemies. Either way, it looks neat. I think when I get PSVR, I'll probably get it and try it out. It looks cool. Alright. Gran Turismo Sport. I liked Gran Turismo 5 a lot. Gran Turismo 6 really confused me with what they did because I think it was either the PS4 had just come out or it was about to come out and they just like almost like stealth released this game like a sequel to one of the highest selling PS3 games of all time. It really confused me why Sony treated Gran Turismo in that certain way. But nonetheless, I mean, this game seems a lot more like it's going to be a platform than just another Gran Turismo numbered game. I hope this Gran Turismo Sport is something that's going to be continuously updated, adding new content, and we don't need another Gran Turismo game in a couple of years. Just give us this one and continue to update it for the next 5 years. Also, PSVR, I think, perfect for this game. I mean, it's exactly what you need. Sitting in that I can't imagine. I like just imagining now, like playing Gran Turismo Sport, holding a wheel, got the VR helmet on. I mean, it's gonna be like exactly like you're in a race car like that. I think if they get that right, it's gonna be an incredible, incredible experience. All right, next we got the little like the next little what's it called? The French studio powerhouses coming out on stage to finish up the show. We got Wild. Wild, it seems like the sandbox where you're a shaman, you're controlling animals, and they're going to be doing certain things at certain ways to solve puzzles using different animals. I'm not really sure exactly what the gameplay is yet. Like, they showed a demo, and I'm just a little bit confused on what's going to hook me. Like, are they just going to be like, yo, shaman, get this medicine? Gotta go over to the medicine area. There's a little group of bandits. Gotta jump in with a rabbit or a squirrel, and I just really hope there's different things that happen in this game. Something that makes it more of just a game than what it seemed like in a. Like it seemed like in the demo, like the guy talked about how there's different ways you can approach every situation. I just really hope that that's completely true, that there's lots of options and that there's reasons to play this game once and, at least replay it a couple times. It seems like it can be really neat. I just really hope they can pull this off. Alright, coming up last, we got Detroit Become Human. I remember when this tech demo first came out, I thought it looked incredible. I was just hoping that it would actually become a game in the first place. Sorry, if you hear me pausing, I'm drinking water. That's stopping me from coughing, which is, a little more pleasing than hearing me cough into the camera. Well, back to Detroit, Become Human. The saying it started as a tech demo. They were saying it got up to 27 million views. It became very popular. Like, people thought it looked like a really incredible what this game could be. So they went off of that, and it's an android finds life in futuristic Detroit. Like, there's really not much else to say. Like, we got a great studio working on this. Heavy Rain was an awesome game. Beyond Two Souls, I think, was just. I never played it. I've only heard, not great things about it. I think I'm hoping that they learned from their choices that they did in Beyond Two Souls, and I'm hoping that they bring all the best parts of Heavy Rain, the best parts of Beyond Two Souls, and just create an amazing story in futuristic Detroit. I think that's an awesome location. That's where the car industry started, and if this story is about like the android industry starting and flourishing there, I think that's like just an incredibly cool story, and I really have high hopes for this game. Alright, everybody, so that concludes everything I planned to talk about for Paris Games Week. A lot longer of an episode than you will be seeing in the future. I know this is coming in at about a half an hour. My plans are to do between 5 to 15 minutes, but there was a lot to talk about here. But just giving you guys a little hint to what's coming up in the future. I want to talk about Witcher 3's expansion and also playing it on Death March mode, which is two of the things that I played recently that I really enjoyed. I'll put that in one episode. I'd love to make an episode of Wasteland 2, just pick that up recently. I think that's an awesome game. And I mean, of course, Fallout 4 is coming out on the 10th, so I'm gonna be spending hundreds of hours in that game. So believe me, there will be a lot for me to talk about after that game comes out. Maybe if you guys enjoyed the video, give me a like, give me a subscribe, go down in the comments and tell me what game you guys are excited for. Even if it's, not Paris Games Week games, whatever games you guys are excited for. I mean, if there was something at Paris Games Week that really hit you and you want to talk about it, drop a comment and I'll get back to you guys. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in and I will see you guys next week.